All right, everybody, welcome back. You ready to dive in?
Ready when you are.
Awesome. So today we're tackling Arbitrum. A lot of people are talking about it, and for good reason. It's not just some random altcoin. It's got the potential to be a major player in the Ethereum world.
Totally agree.
And I got to say, I am super excited to dig into all the research you sent over on this. I mean, it's clear that Ethereum's been kind of struggling.
Yeah, it's definitely a powerhouse when it comes to innovation, but all those high fees, the network getting clogged up, that's a real problem.
It is. I mean, we've talked about it on the show before, but
Yeah.
it's kind of holding Ethereum back from reaching its full potential,
Yep,
right?
exactly.
Okay, so Arbitrum, it's supposed to be a solution to all this, right? It's what they call a layer 2 solution.
Right.
But, for those of us who don't spend all day staring at crypto charts, break that down for me. What does layer 2 even mean?
Sure. It basically means it sits on top of Ethereum, handling transactions off-chain. So it takes the pressure off the main Ethereum network.
Oh, okay, I see. So it's like adding an express lane to a highway that's totally jammed up.
Perfect analogy. And Arbitrum uses this really clever technique called optimistic rollups. Instead of verifying every single transaction on Ethereum's mainnet, it bundles them together off-chain, then submits one big transaction to Ethereum.
Oh, that's pretty smart.
Yeah.
Streamlines the whole thing.
Yeah.
But there are a bunch of other layer 2 solutions out there, right? So what's all the hype about Arbitrum specifically?
Well, one thing that makes it stand out is how developer-friendly it is. Arbitrum is compatible with the Ethereum virtual machine, the EVM.
Right, right.
So developers can easily take their dApps that are already running on Ethereum and move them over to Arbitrum. No problem.
Gotcha. Less work for the developers, I imagine that makes them happy.
Exactly. But it gets even better. They're working on this thing called Stylus.
Stylus.
Yeah. And what it does is it lets developers code on Arbitrum using other languages. Like you can use Rust, you can use C++.
Hold on. You're telling me they don't have to use Solidity anymore?
Yep.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's huge. I mean, think about how many amazing developers out there who they get intimidated by Solidity.
Right.
This could bring a ton of new talent into the Ethereum world.
Exactly. It just opens up so many possibilities. And on top of all that, Arbitrum is really focused on community.
Okay. How so?
Well, they have their own token called ARB, and they have a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization. So the community actually has a say in how things run.
So it's like a decentralized democracy for Arbitrum. That's cool.
It is.
So what kind of things does the community get to vote on? Like, what kind of power do they have?
They get to vote on all sorts of stuff. Upgrades to the platform, how treasury funds are used, even the overall direction Arbitrum is headed.
Wow. So it's like a self-governing ecosystem.
Exactly.
I like that. Okay, so we've talked about some of the tech stuff, but I keep seeing all these price predictions for the ARB token. Some pretty optimistic ones. What's driving all that excitement?
Well, I think there are a few things at play here. First, the need for what we've been talking about, Ethereum's scaling solutions. It's just exploding.
Yeah, that makes sense. The more people using Ethereum.
Yeah, more congested it gets.
Right.
And the higher the gas fees climb.
Right. And that makes solutions like Arbitrum super valuable. But you mentioned there are other layer 2 solutions out there. Why is everyone so focused on Arbitrum then?
Well, Arbitrum has been one of the first in this space. They've kind of been leading the way. So they've already got a really big ecosystem built up, lots of dApps and users.
Okay, so they have a head start.
Yeah, and they've also got a great track record, known for being secure and reliable. But you're right, there's definitely competition out there.
So it's not a guaranteed win for them.
Not at all. It's going to come down to who keeps innovating, who can set themselves apart.
This is getting really interesting. Okay, so what else do we need to know about Arbitrum?
Well, they're also looking into something called Layer 3 solutions.
Layer 3. We're already on Layer 2.
I know, right? It's like building a whole network of highways on top of that express lane we were talking about before.
So what's the point of that? What would these Layer 3 solutions do?
Well, they're calling it Orbit, and it's all about even more scalability, even more customization. So you could have a Layer 3 chain that's just for gaming with crazy fast transaction speeds, or you could have one that's all about privacy, optimized for secure transactions.
Whoa! It's like they're building a whole scaling universe.
Pretty much.
Okay, so much to unpack here. If you had to boil it down to like 2 or 3 key things about Arbitrum, what would you say?
Okay, key takeaways. First, Arbitrum is definitely one of the big names in Ethereum scaling. It's a really strong platform, secure, developer-friendly. And it tackles Ethereum's problems head-on.
Love it.
Second, the stuff they're doing with Stylus and Orbit, that's innovative, and I think it really sets them up for growth down the line. Like, it could attract tons of new developers and users.
And don't forget the potential for growth in the ARB token itself. Some analysts are saying short-term we could see $1, maybe even $1.20. But longer term, some are even saying $2 to $3.
Yeah, it's definitely got potential. But remember, its success is really tied to Ethereum's success and to how much demand there is for scaling solutions.
True, true. So the big question is, will this multi-language approach be the thing that unlocks Arbitrum's potential?
That is the million-dollar question.
I guess we'll have to wait and see. Well, if you're as fascinated by Arbitrum as we are, make sure to check out the show notes. We've got tons of links to resources, including where you can buy some ARB tokens if you're interested. This is definitely a space to keep your eye on, folks.
Couldn't agree more.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Arbitrum. We'll catch you in the next one.